Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to MCubed. Sorry for the delayed start of the stream. Took a little bit of a minute. Had a couple phone calls I had to deal with. But welcome to Old Theater Thursday. We talk about what movies are coming out this weekend, of course, on this day. And there aren't a whole bunch. But we do have a Haunted Mansion, which is kind of a remake, kind of a reboot, kind of a reimagining. Maybe, I don't know, which I'm seeing at 3 p.m. today. And then A24's newest film, Talk to Me, which comes out today. And I'm going to see that one at 7 p.m., I think. So I get to go see a little more fun one a little earlier in the day and going spooky later on, of course. So yeah, we've got that. And then that's kind of all we got to talk about today. I kind of expect this to be a little bit shorter of a stream. Hopefully we'll hit that hour mark because I, of course, brought a joint or two along, and we'll do a little smoke stream at the end like we like to do occasionally. But if there's anything y'all want to talk about, that's when we'll talk about it. And prior to it, of course, where I'm more level-headed before I am. Not that I don't get level-headed, but my short-term memory goes out the bank fairly quickly when the herb enters. But y'all know that. We'll talk movies for a while, and if you want to keep talking movies, I'll keep talking movies. If you want to talk about anything else, put it in the comments, and of course, we'll get to it. But let's roll that intro, huh? I love those things. I can't wait to have like the whole week all done. And of course, we're gonna change the music for them too, which will be fun. I think it's gonna be a little more Western based. And I'm a Texas boy. I like me my Western things. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But before we jump into it, I have to ask you: have you seen the trailers? Have you seen anything going on about Haunted Mansion or A24's Talk to Me? Because a Haunted Mansion looks slightly scarier than I expected it to. The last trailer, the most recent one that they released, showed that Jared Leto is in the frickin' movie. And, you know, that guy, whenever he's hired to do something, he's going all out for it. Whether it be for something that we really want him to or not, aka Morbius and the Joker. Morbius is not a great movie. It's not even a good movie. But it was better than I expected it to be. And it felt like it was Frankenstein together. And if we would have got the movie that they wanted to give us, I feel like it could have been and would have been a hell of a lot more interesting. But alas, that did not happen, and we got what we got. I don't think Jared Leto had a bad performance in there, though. I wasn't necessarily a fan of the Joker, but I think once again that was like if we would have gotten his actual performance instead of what was it, like 7 to 13 minutes cut up in between like the 2.5-hour film. If he were the main villain, I think it would have been a whole different thing. But all that aside, Jared Leto being in the Haunted Mansion gives it a little more validity for me, even with Lakeith Stanfield, Owen Wilson, Tiffany Haddish, and the kind of cast they have, because all those actors and actresses are fucking great. I'll cuss later. We're trying to help the YouTube algorithm out, you know? Oh, howdy, Laura. I'm assuming that was hi, but him. We are talking about Jared Leto, and him is I don't know. I was trying to make a good reference to the little ghost he's playing. I don't know what the ghost is called, but it looks like it could be scary and called something simple. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I think he brings more validity to a Haunted Mansion, just even if it's a smaller role, if it's the just strictly villainous role kind of thing. Oh no, not him. Yes, it's fun having y'all here. Keeps me entertained. I mean, I'm pretty good at entertaining myself if you've never noticed. But just a couple of the people just talking a little bit. Oh, you know, we get things going. LOL, it was high. Yeah, I assumed as much, but you know, when I can take things a fun angle, I'm gonna do it anyway, you know. But yeah, no, I think a Haunted Mansion looks pretty damn good actually. I'm intrigued mostly with Owen Wilson and Lakeith Stanfield. I've seen a couple people say that Owen Wilson's character is essentially the same character from Wedding Crashers. I think that was John Campia's out of theater reaction yesterday. That sounds cool. I'll let you know what I think in my out of theater reaction later today, of course. But if it's that kind of funny and you have Owen Wilson at his comical best, I'm excited. If we have Lakeith Stanfield, who's supposedly like a little more of like the grounded character, he's got some personal trauma, personal like things going on, some anxiety or something of the sort. I think that will be fun to watch because Lakeith Stanfield is one of the actors of our time right now. He's in everything in like smaller roles. I can't wait for him to have huge roles because he deserves it and he can definitely tackle him. Tiffany Haddish, she's just an amazing comedian. She's hilarious in everything that she's ever been in and everything that she probably ever will be in. So I expect her to kind of play that. Michelle Yeoh, I haven't heard much about her performance or her character in there, so I'm excited to just kind of go in on a blank slate with Michelle Yeoh because you never know what Michelle Yeoh is going to give you, but you know it's going to be good every single time. And I don't think she's ever let up, so I'm excited. Those four are the ones that make me the most excited. And then Jared Leto adds validity to it, and he doesn't necessarily add excitement, but he does add a kind of an air of intrigue. You know, I'm much more intrigued by it now, where I was just kind of like, okay, I really hope that they outdo the Eddie Murphy version because I go back and watch that. It's not as bad as people claim it is. It's not great. It's not that good even, you know, but it's funny, it's simple, it's what you expect. I grew up with Eddie Murphy, Dr. Dolittle, so like that Haunted Mansion movie with Eddie Murphy, I enjoyed, you know, it was kind of right up that like youthful alley that I grew up with. You know, of course we all have our own youthful alleys, if that's the term we're using. But those were the type of films that were coming out when I was growing up, and I really, really enjoy a little Eddie Murphy, both stand-up and when he's doing his childish stuff. But then you bring me some Dolomite as my name, and I'm a happy camper. But I really think this one is going to be a return to form, or more like they've found their form again in a way. I think most of the reviews so far are good about Haunted Mansion, and I really able to turn this not necessarily into another Pirates of the Caribbean, not necessarily another Jungle Cruise, but not right. I wouldn't mind a Haunted Mansion 2, 3, 4. If, of course, the story's still good, the narrative continues, and it continues in a good way, a bold way, you might even say, and we're not tired of it. Of course, that's kind of the stipulations I'd have. I don't mind more theme park films, I guess. I think it's kind of a fun way to have something that somebody put a certain amount of creativity in and a lot of people have grown up with and thought about, et cetera, et cetera. And then you really add a whole nother layer of things onto it. Like Gore Verbinski did with Pirates of the Caribbean. Like that was a really fun just ride to go ride. And it had some lore. It was kind of like, okay, so it's very piratey. And then you got Jack Sparrow. Then you got, Gore Verbinski put together a beautiful world, and I actually really do like the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. Even the second and the third one, I know people really like the second one as well. The third one, not so much. Creativity, not AI people, LOL. Yeah. You know, because if we just want to rehash some stuff, AI all day, sure, but you still need some people. If you actually want something new, want something good, creativity is necessary, and a human is the only way you're going to get that creativity. I think we did a really good discussion about that both on Sidetrack one day, and then I know Matt and I have had a couple conversations. I think it was Matt, Jamie, and I for one stream 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. But good stuff, good people, good creativity equals good project, I think. And I don't expect this to be great. I don't expect it to be some next level Disney thing or anything of the sort. But I do expect it to be good. So I expect it to be like a solid 5 to 7 out of 10, somewhere in that range. I hope, of course, it reaches the 7, but I'm expecting it to reach that like 5.5, 6. And of course, Film News Friday. We won't delve into the topics or details of the film at all, but we'll talk a little bit about it. I'll give you a little excerpt of my thoughts from whatever I say out of the theater reaction today. You know. But all the fun, spooky stuff aside, Have y'all seen that trailer for Talk to Me? A24, of course, is one of my favorite studios at the moment, if not my favorite studio. Overall, I think they're probably my favorite studio. I almost said Lionsgate. I really like a lot of the things that Lionsgate are doing, and they're like that happy medium between huge studio and independent, because they're not an independent film studio, but they're right next door to one in a lot of ways. Hey, Shelly, what's happening? We're talking. Hey, we're talking stuff you like. Have you seen the trailer for Talk to Me, A24's newest horror film? It's coming out today, and it looks really, really good. I'm intrigued. I don't know the YouTubers it is made by, but it was made by YouTubers. The two directors, I believe, are both YouTubers, and I don't know if they have individual channels or if they have a shared channel or maybe both. I'm not positive on that, but they are YouTubers, and they have been getting acclaim for this already, which is pretty damn cool, I'd say. Gives us validity over here on the YouTubes, you know, because a lot of the time people on here are just people that want to do that kind of stuff and don't necessarily know how to go about doing it. I'm like happy medium within all that, I think, somewhere, you know. I don't know. But Talk to Me itself looks great. I watched the trailer again before I started this, and never heard of it. I don't see TV ads, though. I live online only. And Brain Pain in the house. I was like, Brain Pain if? What is if in the house? It took me a second. I got the acronyms. You know, slowly but surely I'll figure it out. But yeah, howdy. We're just talking scary movies. We talked Haunted Mansion, Disney's newest thing coming out, and you know, it's not necessarily spooky, but I think Jared Leto adds a little validity to the spookiness of it, and I'm hoping it's a little spookier than what I expect. I want the comedy to be there, sure, of course, but I like me some scary stuff. I want some horror. You know, I want to be scared. I want to jump just a little bit, and I want to jump a lot and Talk to Me, and it looks like it. That looks Talk to Me. So what I've gathered from the trailer, at least, it seems like the main character, this girl, is sad as hell. It's I think she called it her Remembrance Day. So it's the day of the year that I'm assuming her mother passed away, either a year ago, 2 years ago, 3, whatever it is, kind of deal. I think she's kind of young. Classic horror, always best, of course. I was actually, I'll get sidetracked. We'll get back. But it seemingly the girl lost her mom a couple years ago, and she's like, oh, I keep seeing these videos of these people in town. They're doing this weird thing. Apparently, people are getting possessed for like a minute and a half kind of deal, and then they like close the door and whatever, and it's supposed to be some like, I don't know if it's supposed to feel good, like tapping into the other side of the void or something. I don't know. But that's kind of what I've gathered from it. She does it. I think they leave the thing open a little too long, and she stays possessed is what I'm guessing, or she just opened up a portal for everybody else in the room to get possessed, or she opened up a portal and now everybody's just being followed, and maybe some people are possessed. I'm not entirely sure what's going to be happening. I will after 7 p.m. tonight, but it looks really good. It of course, what I just explained is fairly straightforward. It looks like an A24 film in the sense where like they put decent money behind it, but it's still like artistic in that sense. And then it also looks just like of course, my description was very generic, and that's just because I'm trying to give you the genericisms of it. In the trailer, though, it definitely looks like they're adding a unique perspective on things. I'm not entirely sure what I mean by that because, of course, I haven't seen it yet. I'm just trying to guesstimate. It doesn't look like your typical horror movie. And the thing that you get possessed with, that's the thing. You're not just like hopping in there and there's like a Ouija board. That's one of the things that I like that I like about it, and that stood out to me was it sounds paranormally geared, which is my thing. Very much so. So this is the thing I think will intrigue you because you have like items in your house that hold paranormal things, if I'm correct, or a paranormal entity likes to not necessarily stay inside of the item, but like kind of clings on to it, and like that's the item it goes back to more frequently, right? Something of the sort. The item that makes this trailer and the film itself seem so interesting, and it really, really intrigued me, is there's like a hand. It's just a hand that has like a bunch of words written all over it. It looks like a tattooed hand, and it's like kind of out there like a partial handshake kind of deal. I see. I started doing Star Trek stuff. I'm not even a Star Trek person. Trek's rubbing off. Anyway, the possessed hand thing. You're supposed to say. You're supposed to like shake its hand and then say, "Talk to me," and that's how you get possessed or whatever. And that's just such an interesting little. I don't know if it's going to be MacGuffin. I don't know if it's going to be some weird Chekhov's gun that has to be checked off or what. But I'm really excited just to see where the creators' brains were at in making something like that. That's it's so simple, but it's very original in its own way, and I like it. I have 32 items with spirit attachments, so I'm truly haunted. But you're haunted with the good spirits. There's good and bad, right? Do you have bad, or is it just good? I don't know. I think we've talked about it before. I believe in all of it. I just don't know exactly what to believe, where to believe, and I'd like to learn more, It's just once I go down a rabbit hole, I go down some rabbit holes. But yeah, I really like the idea of having this haunted hand that it's almost like the monkey's paw in a way in the short story, The Monkey's Paw, of course. And, just Monkey Paw Production is Jordan Peele's production studio. He's not involved with this at all, of course. But, oh, interesting. But yeah, I trailed off. I forgot what I was going to say real quick. I read this. Only 2 are negative, but I keep them controlled. How do you do that? 30 happy spirits are good. 2 not so. I'd say you can deal with them, and I'm assuming you can, of course, if you know what to do, but also you'd have to call in the right people to know what to do. Thankfully, Shelly, are you our Ghostbuster? Is that a fun nickname, or do you find that offensive? One or the other. It's either one or the other. I don't know. But give me the box. I don't know what it's from, but it was all caps, so I had to say it a little louder, But yeah, how do you keep those 2 paranormal, the negative paranormal things in check? I guess. Do you put them in like a certain type of box that I don't know? I'm thinking vampires, but is it like silver lined box or like lead lined box or like box with some garlic on each side? And obviously that's vampires and stuff like that, but I'm just trying to think. Okay. The reason I'm doing that, classic horror always best. Yes, Sci-Fi Quest. That rhymed. I had to finish it. I had to give the little getaway movie I keep mentioning, the small little independent horror film that I am going back to film in probably like 2 weeks. We haven't had much of an update. I need an update from my scheduling, because it's gonna be hard to stream while I'm out there. But I'm gonna find a way, or I'm gonna find a way to get Schmook on board to stream for us. We're gonna figure it out one way or another. Anyway, one of the things I had to do for today, tomorrow we're having like our trailer party where we're tossing a trailer and we're trying to get a couple little investors on, give people something to do out in the Hollywood that aren't doing anything at the moment, And one of the things I had to say was, what's your favorite horror movie? I said, well, of 2023, Infinity Pool, I think. But of all time, (1978's) original Clive Barker's Hellraiser, always and forever. I love it. It makes me feel a little sci-fi. It makes me feel a little fantasy. It's spooky as hell, and it makes me feel horrific and terrified and all those things. but it just combines like my three favorite things and just does it in a simple way that's not too over the top while still being like over the top in a subtly not so subtle kind of way. Subtle in the way like only the Cenobites are really over the top, and sometimes the world's a little wild. But truly, the Cenobites are what's over the top, and the rest of the world's pretty typical until the Cenobites enter and do some weird stuff, of course. But I just love Hellraiser. I adore Hellraiser. All the sequels are pretty damn cheesy, and they're not very good. But I could still watch them in a day of the week. The thing that really made me happy was I did really enjoy the new Hellraiser. I really liked the new reimagining. It's reimagining, kind of a reboot because it's a continuation and not at the same time. I'm intrigued. It's technically closer to Clive Barker's original thought process. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I really enjoy it. I don't enjoy it as much as the original Hellraiser just because the OG Hellraiser is just that good. Like, it's that good. But I did have a really good time with it. That and Prey made me very happy. I was like, okay, Top Gun Maverick, Prey, and Hellraiser are the three legacy sequels I didn't know I needed, but I'm very happy that we got, You're a Jason Voorhees guy yourself? And rightfully so. Jason's pretty damn fun. I just wish people were more consistent with their Voorhees films, If we had some really good Friday the 13th. What was the last good Friday the 13th? The remake was all right. Wasn't that like 2011, 12, 13, somewhere around that time? Haven't seen the Hellraiser reboot. Scared it will ruin the OG. It doesn't. It doesn't. It definitely doesn't. It does, of course, Pinhead changes and a couple of the Cenobites change. But that's part of Clive Barker's lore. It doesn't really change anything. That's not part of what's already been laid out by Clive Barker, if that makes sense. Which is nice. It's nice. I respect that they did that and chose to keep it within that kind of wheelhouse. Because I think that's important. I really do. And I'm so anal about chronology. I literally keep saying like that. I need to find a better way to say that I'm anal about this, or this, cool grammar words, but people hear the word anal and they're like, I need to find a better phrase for that. But Shelly, you being a ghost collector and buster is pretty badass. Of course, I think that. And I know that because you get to deal with them all the time and get to deal with all the cool stuff. Spooky stuff too, though, of course. Would a Ghostbuster be a bad thing or a good thing in the ghost community? I'm just thinking, like, if it were a real thing, of course, and you were able to I don't know if honestly, is it kind of a real? How did you trap them? I think I asked, but I probably asked 7 other questions in a row too, which didn't help. But yeah, no, that's super intriguing. Maybe I'll need to bring some ghost collecting and ghost busting equipment to this Talk to Me screening because movie theaters tend to be like haunted-ish places a lot of times, right? Would a horror movie be a good place for something like that to happen? Wish they did a better portrayal of Jason in the Friday the 13th reboot. Yes, no, I agree, but that's probably the best Friday the 13th we've gotten in a long time. Honestly, Freddy versus Jason, I kind of like that Jason. Of course, that's almost like Haunted Mansion and Talk to Me put together and met in the middle somewhere. It's kind of funny, kind of silly, kind of goofy, but also scary slasher, chop, chop, slice, slice, blood, blood, squirt, squirt, death, kind of put together. I don't know if I like Freddy vs. Jason better, or if I like the Friday the 13th reboot Jason better. Neither one are great. I'd prefer the original Friday the 13th or one of like the first 3, 4, 5 Friday the 13th Jasons. I think all of those were generally pretty good. Those first 4, I think, I'm a big fan of. I used to, every AMC was the channel I grew up on. I loved watching anything and everything on AMC. And whenever Halloween time kind of came around and you got those Halloween, I want to say Halloween Horror Nights, but that's Universal's Hollywood Horror Nights. It's not a Halloween-a-thon, maybe just a Halloween marathon. I don't remember exactly what they called it, but it was like the 30 Nights of Horror or something like that. Whatever it was, I adored that. And they'd kind of have like, we're gonna have a full day of Jason, we're gonna have a full day of Freddy, we're gonna have a full day of Michael Myers, we're gonna have a full day of this, full day of that. That's where I got familiar with all that, because I would sit there if it was a Saturday or a Friday or a Monday that I didn't have school or something. If it was like I don't think any Mondays you get off in October, but maybe in September. I don't know. Well, if I had an extra day or if I had a weekend, I would sit there and just binge. Before binging was cool, before Netflix was a thing. But it was just a marathon on cable, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. That's actually how I watched Breaking Bad for the first time too. The first 2 episodes I saw of Breaking Bad were the last 2 episodes of Breaking Bad, which in turn made me want to go watch the entire series. And I never watched season 4, which is on Funky. And I love Gus Fring. I love Giancarlo Esposito as a villain and everything. But I'd still need to watch it. And I need to watch Better Call Saul first now because of just the chronology. I'm coming up with a better phrase, but I'll think about it. A buster just means to find them and make contact. Oh, busting a location or something like that. That's like treasure hunting in a way, but it is treasure hunting. It's the treasure you're searching for. It's interesting to think about. How do you trap them though? For the collecting, or do you not trap them at all and you just kind of give them something to live out of, or give them an item to attach to, maybe? I'm not sure. Sci-fi. Love Freddy versus Jason. Want to see a Jason versus Michael. Oh, first Jason was best. I think was part 2 to 4. Yes. First Jason was. You mean like first Friday the 13th, where it's like Jason Voorhees masked up fighting, or do you mean like Miss Voorhees' very first Jason with disfigured Jason Voorhees? Because I really like that one too. I really like that one. But I'm a sucker for the slashers too, and the first one's a slasher, but they rack up the body counts in the later movies. Well, yeah, I know you're not sucking them into a box, but like, do you invite them to like go into, because you have like a doll is just the easiest thing. I know from Facebook you have like, it's not a rattler, but there's something that makes noise and shines or shines a few lights and stuff whenever they're there. Well, I guess that means they're hopping in and out too if it's not doing that 24/7. Or maybe it's just when they want to talk. I don't know. I've got questions, ideas, etc. The ones I found their own item at a time of death and attached to it. Oh, the ones I have found their own item at their time of death and attached to it. I acquired the item. The ones I go out and look for stay where they are. I don't bring them home. Okay, that makes sense. So you almost have oh my God, what are their names? The Conjuring series. Of course, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, but not Vera Farmiga. That's Thaisa. No. That's Vera. Whichever one of the sisters. Why can't I? I think it's Vera. Vera's the older one. Yeah, Vera's the older one. But is it almost? I don't remember the whatchamacallit. It's a touch activated cat ball. They touch it and it lights up. Okay. That makes sense. What I can't remember those the the people that are in all the Conjuring movies. They're based off of all their projects and things that they did. Oh, that's gonna kill me. I should know their name. Warren, right? Ed and Lorraine Warren. That sounds right. I'm gonna go with that. Ed and Lorraine. I know it's Ed and Lorraine. I think it's the Warrens, right? So you essentially have like your own little like room, kind of like your own haunted room, or you just have everything throughout the house, and like, of course, they can. Yeah, the Warrens. Thank you. It takes me a minute sometimes. You got it. Shelly helped. They're all in your bedroom. Ooh, ooh. Talk about just being entrenched in all of that. I mean, that could be bad at the same time, right? But obviously, I doubt you keep the two bad things in there. Of course. I kind of like the idea of that though. It's like I'm I'm as white as guy can be, but cheekbones and the straight hair is about all you could ever be able to tell from it. Quarter Cherokee, eighth Choctaw, yada yada. So I am Native American to a degree. And I've always, just for the sake of that, I've always had dream catchers around. I love me some dream catchers. They look cool. They're cool art, etc. Mine are typically more rustic looking. They're not all pink and blue and yellow and all those things, but like they're a little more rustic. And if I had a dream catcher and then all those other items, I'd be fine, I think, right? Kind of, sort of. I'm just thinking now. I'm just intrigued. First Friday the 13th was the classic build up to Jason. I think of Jason as a soul eater as he comes back stronger each time. Ooh. Yeah, no, the first one was definitely a classic build up, and I love it. But the soul eater coming back stronger each time. It makes sense. It really makes sense. And they kind of do that without actually like saying they're doing that, of course. Yeah, I subscribe to that. I like that. Because he definitely does. I mean, you get what is it? What is it? There's Freddy Goes to Space, but that's Friday the 13th. What is that? Is that Friday the 13th X or something like that? I don't even remember anymore. That's so bad. Those first 2 to 4 are like ingrained in my memory, and I remember parts of them all the time. But all the later ones, it takes me a little bit. What are you? I often feel my bed move as if someone is climbing up on it when I'm sleeping. I just say, "You can sleep with me, but don't keep me awake." You are braver than I. I see. I think I have a haunted little. I don't know if my house is haunted, but I think I told you I have a. It may be. I call my little local ghost George. I always say, "Hey George," I'll talk to George every now and then and just say something. And my friends are like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "Just in case, I want to be friends with George. Is all I know. Whether George is George or whoever the hell George is, I want to make sure I'm on George's good side." That sounds like a good way of doing that too. But damn, yeah. If they were to crawl while I'm like sleeping or something, I don't know what I would do, but I'd be running around somewhere and I'd be cussing up a storm. It'd be entertaining. I know that much, but that'd be a little spooky. Jason X. Yep. Was that because it was the 10th one? I thought it was like the 11th or 12th, but I don't think it might have been. I don't know. There's so many. There's so many. Yeah. I don't know. If I were to get something to try to talk to George, I don't know if I need to talk to George. If I were to get something, their kids died way too young and just need a safe place to rest. I'm a spirit foster mom. Aw. Oh, no, that's actually really sweet. I like that. That's sweet. Yeah. Well then, okay, well that makes the climbing in bed a lot less spooky and a lot more. They just want someone to be there with them, and hell, I don't know if they're sleeping or not, but they might still get scared every now and then. Huh. Um, that's sweet. I just read what Sci-Fi Quest said. That's not so sweet. That's a little freaking spooky and scary. I used to wake up when my ankles hit the metal frame at the foot of my bed as if I was levitating. That would creep me the hell out. That would scare the shit out of me. Spirit little kids like foster spirit kids that climbing up into bed. That's one thing. That's kind of sweet. That's like, all right, they're good spirits and hanging out, yada yada. Painful too. Oh no, I bet just ankles slamming down from dangling in the air onto metal frames just feels great. A little spooky, a little spooky, a lot of spooky, maybe a lot of spooky. Uh, did you ever figure out what like was going on? Because I mean, even just for devil's advocacy, like even if you were sleepwalking, it wouldn't just be your ankles if you're like jumping back into bed or something, and or if you're sleepwalking, you're not gonna just be doing an exercise. You're not just fluttering your feet and doing leg exercises in the middle of the night, right? Ouch, I'll stick with mine, thanks. Yeah, yes, please. Uh, did you ever figure out what was going on at all? Did you get like a priest or someone to come bless something? Did you see? I'm not even religious, so I don't know if that would do anything. What if you're not religious? What do you do? Is never did find out. Damn. Well, all good now, right? hopefully, hopefully. Yeah. What do you do if? Because like I believe in spirits, I believe in demons in certain senses. I guess I couldn't tell you what either one of those things truly is or are, but I don't think we're alone. Obviously, I love me my sci-fi stuff and all these UFO hearings going on, which I think we may talk about on Sunday a little bit, which I'm very excited about. Figured it was the universe telling me to wake up. LOL. What? Just like wake up on a daily basis, or what? What? Like wake up that goes to real or something? I don't. What do you mean? Interesting. I just never did find out. That'd be something that would be like that would sit with me. I'd have to go back and just like explore, or something. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's keep talking. While we're talking though, let's turn it into a smoke stream because there's really not that much coming out, of course. And Haunted Mansion looks fun. It looks spookier than I expected it to be, which I'm very excited about. But Talk to Me looks very spooky, and I'm very excited about that one. So yeah, I think we kind of covered that for the day. So we turn this thing into a smoke stream and talk some paranormal things. I guess I'm always down. Yeah, let's talk for another 20, 30 or something. Don't have to be religious to have yourself and your home blessed and cleansed. Just need to know what to say and how. Oh, I should probably put it up. Just need to know what to say and how to do it. It's about the words and actions, not personal views. Yeah, okay. That's kind of where I'd go with. I think, or where I would subscribe as well, because I used to be religious. I'm just not anymore, and not only that, I guess, not like super, not like Catholic kind of religious or anything. I was Episcopalian growing up, which is like Catholic light, or as they say, Catholic right, which is just kind of like laid back Catholicism in a lot of ways. It really wasn't. It was a lot closer to like Methodist kind of thing. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation. That was kind of where my mindset was growing up. And then I started actually, the more I read the Bible, the more questions I had, and the less religious I became, I guess. So I guess yeah, I subscribe to that thought process of not having to have those same personal views and still being able to like get things clinched just for the sake of it. Because also I grew up, I'm a Texan boy. I'm a Texas boy, born and bred, all that good stuff. But where I was raised is 20, 30 minutes from Louisiana. So Louisiana's right next door. We're swampy. We're really big pine foresty kind of thing. So there's a lot of voodoo-esque kind of things going on. Howdy, David. What's happened? Hey, I was tardy first, so don't worry. I got a phone call, and I had to push this thing back for like 45 minutes. I was like, damn, gotta go. We made it work, though. We made it work. I had to prepare. I'm going to Vegas on Sunday. So we're doing Monday through Wednesday streams in Vegas this coming week. It'll be fun. But yeah, I've got voodoo stuff. I don't have voodoo stuff. I don't necessarily fully believe in voodoo or anything of that sort either, but there is some validity somewhere to it, and I'm not the person that's going to tell somebody that this is right or this is not right in that category. So I tend to just say, let's play it safe and cover all our bases. If I were to bless something, like get a house blessed, I would get it blessed in voodoo, and I would also get it blessed in like a Christian sense, maybe even like a Jewish sense and an Islamic sense. I'd probably try to get it from every angle possible. But those three, I don't know. You might know, Shelly. Do Muslim, Jewish, and Christian folk tend to deal with paranormal things in a similar fashion? Or do they have individual things? Obviously, if you don't know, you don't know. But I'm just thinking out loud, something interesting, you know. I was christened COE, but haven't been actively religious since I was 7. COE, Church of Evangelists, is that right? Church of everything. Yeah, no, I was, I think, baptized and stuff like within my first year of life. But I think I stopped being religious more like 17 to 19 kind of range. I actually was big in my youth group. I was kind of like, oh, it's Church of England. Okay, booyah, booyah, booyah. That makes sense. I don't think that, sorry. I should have known that. I'm usually decent with my history, but you get to the religious history, it goes all over the place. Yeah, I think I started losing my religiousness after I had not only helped lead and run a youth group for a few years, but you know, as you're trying to make sense of the things that you're reading to tell people in like a specific sense, you really think about it in a different way, and I guess that pragmatic and logical thinking that I was applying to it finally, instead of, you know, having someone apply what they were thinking to this to their conversation and what they're bringing to that conversation, their not monologue, I've been in Hollywood too long, their sermon or anything of the sort, you know. Once you really start thinking about it for your own self, and nobody can answer the questions you're trying to ask, it's interesting. Christians do for sure, but tend to think it's more evil than it is. I would think so. They believe all good goes to heaven and doesn't come back, which is wrong. Not sure about other religions. Yeah, I would think Judaism is similar, but doesn't Islam follows like jinn and stuff like that, right? Like DJINN. I'm an atheist. God is science, and my God is the universe and the elements. I'm my God kind of is science too, but I do kind of subscribe more to Sci-Fi Quest there, where I'm that logical, the pragmatism, and even my optimism tend to go into the science field, you know. But the universe, the elements, I'm more agnostic in the sense where I recognize that I don't know what the hell's out there. I don't know what the hell is out anywhere, you know. I mean, okay, just to touch on that for a second. I think the science and that goes together well because I understand the just what we know from the laws of physics at the moment are almost incomprehensible things that we know are like legitimate somehow, somewhere, some way. And whether we can comprehend that or not, that's a different conversation as well. But you know, like I don't know if what we perceive as ghosts are literally in a different dimension. I don't know if what we perceive as aliens are in a different dimension. I don't know if these things are, you know, actually aliens and from elsewhere. I mean, there's so many other things that can happen, and those are just like the two things we're talking about right now that are kind of come to mind. But like, I don't know is what I guess I subscribe to. Jinn isn't really a spirit of something that was living. It's an energy formed from the earth. No intelligence, but active. Oh. Oh. That's interesting. Also, JWST. I'm so bad with some of these acronyms. Usually I'm decent, but I don't know. Proving the universe is at least twice as old as we thought. Oh yeah. Ha, I confused you. Well, not yes, but also no. I guess my brain's just all over the place. It has so many questions to ask, and I'm just like infinitely intrigued with all of this. Oh, James Webb Telescope. No, you're good. I don't have my big brain on at the moment. I'm thinking scary stuff, so I'm not. It's not going into like sciencey mode or anything. But I think it's about time for this joint, and then we might talk a little bit more about jinns and things of the sort. And you know, maybe a little religious talk. We won't get too like crazy or anything, but how it pertains to like what we're talking about. You know, this is something I keep meaning to bring on here. It is like probably the most stoner toy I freaking own. It's pretty great. Harris, you need some herb? How'd you know, my friend? How'd you know? Can you guess what this is for? Real quick. This. This is kind of where you put the joint, of course, and then there's this big old thing. What's this for? You know? Can you guess? I'm not that patient. I just do this. It's my favorite thing in the world. Oh, Shelly, I'll read it in a second. Let me light this joint, and then we'll get back to the conversation. So yeah, this is my. Oh, you always have to kind of readjust it. See how handy this is? This thing, like on hikes, is my favorite thing in the world. My favorite thing in the freaking world. Because you don't have to touch anything, you know? You're just smoking. Hit it as you walk and don't if you don't want to, you know? It's like the perfect little contraption. I used to have, I don't know where I lost him. I think I lost it whenever I moved out from Hollywood out here. Just lost him the move kind of deal. Because I'm a little further north now, not too far north, of course. But out of like Hollywood Boulevard because I lived there at first. Can't just use a blunt like everyone else. I mean, I can, but whenever we got fun little toys to use, might as well, right? Might as well. The first couple of smoke streams we did, I think I was trying to like show everybody my tips and tricks, and I ran out of those within like 4 or 5 different smoke streams. I was like, well, those are all my general tricks that I use. What else can I do? So I found this thing, and you know, I kind of forgot about it. Sitting over here. Oh, come on. This joint does not want to light on one side. Give it a good spin. Get it burning evenly. I don't think it's lit on that side. Yeah. That little top side doesn't want to go. Burning my hip wick up. Lordy. Sorry, y'all. I like to mute it when I'm coughing, but hands are full. That's not even a smoke cough. That's just the hemp wick going back up in my face. Oh, I almost just started hitting it. Hold up. We got to do the fun thing. Put this in here. Oh, come on now. Come on now. Oh. There we are. All right. Oh, I don't even need my ashtray. I keep forgetting. I love this thing for a multitude of reasons, of course, but there's literally a built-in ashtray and you don't have to do anything. Life's good. All right, let's get to it. In my day, we used a bottle bong. We called it a Zoomy, disgusting but effective. Oh yeah, bottle bongs are great. I almost made one for my friend this past weekend, but I had joints, so we didn't have to, thankfully. Did you make more of a bottle bong more often, or did you do like gravity bongs? Have you ever made a gravity bong water bottle too? Pretty simple, just as simple, really. So much fun, and those things just hit you like a motherfucker, like big time. Back to some paranormal stuff too, because we can talk smoking too. You know, I'm never opposed. David said, "Don't believe in ghosts or UAPs, especially thinking they have to come to visit us, but would love them both to be real." I agree. Oh, I mean, I agree with the second part. I believe in both. I just don't know if I think of them specifically as UAPs and or ghost. Damn. My throat's dying. Hey, if you're coughing, it's working. But I haven't ever coughed this much on stream, I don't think. Wow. I need to wet the whistle. Un momento. It's also very hard to drink over this thing. It was just what we had to hand. Oh, yeah. Well, if you've not ever made your own gravity bong, it's something just to do just for fun. And the thing you're actually smoking out of is not typically plastic, which is great. And you know, whenever you're making your own bong, where's my coconut water? Okay, but whenever you're making your own bong, do you use like a little metal tip for the bowl? Because usually we just use like the end of a pencil eraser, take the eraser out, and just have a little metal thing, and that's what we would use for a bowl. But I ran out of coconut water yesterday. I need to go get more. Because I'm not a coconut. I mean, I do love coconut water, but I don't typically just have it on hand. And I accidentally bought. I thought it was like a case of like 5 or 6, but it was a case of I think like 24 or 26, and I finally ran out. You know, after a week and a half, 2 weeks. But after having it on hand for so long, I'm a fan. I might have to get boxes of coconut water now. But yeah, back to this. I see that's where the interdimensional stuff kind of comes in. I don't know exactly where to place things because I think either one of those could be interdimensional. Maybe both are at the same time. Maybe all of these things kind of intertwine and we just don't know. I'm open to all of it. I'm not like, oh, I gotta see it for it to be real. But I trust, but I verify, and I haven't been able to verify. That's, I guess, a non-answer, but an answer at the same time, right? I have a load of stuff happening in August, but come September when things come down, I'll pop on with you for a paranormal. Yes. Oh, that'd be so much fun. Yeah, I was just trying to do the dates in my mind again. August is busy as hell for me too, but September's not. I don't think I have anything going on September, which is fun. I'm in. Give me a date and we'll figure it out whenever you're ready. We can have any of the guys on. We can have anybody else on too. Um. Oh. 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 Like you melted the Coke bottle with a lighter? I want to try that. Or did you heat it up and then like poke it or something to make the hole? I'm thinking about it. I like the idea a lot. Oh, actually, you did make me just think of something. Just because I have one, hold up, I'll be right back. I'm gonna play the music again. 15 seconds. I can run in 15 seconds. I'll be back. I'll be back. I was so close. I was so close. All right, all right. Gotta hit the joint after a run. I'll have a paranormal debat with non-believer Jamie. That'd be fun. That'd actually be really fun. And how can he be so sci-fi and not believe in ghosts? You know, like that's what the thing that like throws me off the most is like I don't know the dimensional stuff really it gets to me because I know some of it has to be interdimensional or who knows maybe interdimensional is a whole different thing. But I think either we think of aliens as like from somewhere far, far off, or they're maybe just on a different plane of existence that can tap into us every now. I don't know, or we tap into them every now and then, one or the other. I'm not sure. But same thing with ghosts, you know, like I, I feel like it's almost intrinsically sci-fi in some ways. So I'm all for it, you know. Uh, but it'd be fun to have that. I'll mediate. I'll mediate the debate. That'll be fun. Because you'll have one thought process, Jamie will have one thought process, and I'll just probably be half stoned, just asking a bunch of questions, you know. And then it might be fun. It might be fun. Hold up, I'm coughing. I don't think y'all heard that. I tried to mute, so y'all don't have to hear all the nasty, of course. Exactly. Poke the hole with your lighter. That makes sense. Yeah. Heat it up. Because you know, at the first I was like, melt it with your lighter. I was thinking like melting the whole hole into the glass with a lighter, but weakening the glass, then poking the holes and having like a little built-in bowl, kind of like a Coke can at the same time. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's fun. I kind of want to try it. I kind of do. Oh, and that made me think of this. I have it says can of cola. Enjoy can of cola on it, but that is a nice little tiny bong, very tiny bong. It's like a little 11 millimeter bong. Um, just got it out of like a box that one of those little monthly boxes that I used to subscribe to. Um, I love those things, and you know you wouldn't be surprised. I think I have a bong in every room of my house for people to use if they need it. You know, and that is including bathrooms. And this is in like my main bathroom, so people can smoke out of the little Coca-Cola bong if they want to. There's an ashtray and a bong everywhere in my house. I'm a single in my mid-20s, and I live in Los Angeles. Weed's legal. What can you expect, you know? What was David saying? Even though I don't believe in ghosts, I do find the programs very enjoyable. Even though a load of them have just been canceled, my favorite moment is Project Fear. See, are they reality things, or are you talking like are they scripted or reality? Well, scripted or reality, you know, because reality can be scripted as well, but you know what I mean. Like that, you have a 500 milliliter bottle and always dry. Yeah, nice. Yeah, this one's just legit a bong. Yeah. Uh, but I can see how it'd be like exactly the same thing. I really like that idea. I kind of want to try it. Reality. Okay. Uh, yeah, I don't know if I know any at the moment. I used to watch them but you know, as cable was a thing, I'd put them on when I saw them. I can't really remember any. It's like paranormal this or that, you know, or haunted this or whatever, something like that. Yeah. Oh, Donnie Drunkard. My good friend streams live from his demonic house every weekend to show the activity he deals with. YouTube Donnie Drunkard and check him out. I was at his house last October. It's real. Yeah, it's, the things you were posting was wild or were wild. They were. I didn't realize it was Donnie Drunkard. Who's oh no, the Steve Mudlarking, right? What's Mudlarking again? I thought Mudlarking was haunted stuff. Or am I crazy? I don't know if someone's typing fast or if I'm gonna Google first, but I'm gonna Google it real fast. Oh no, this went out. Scavengers in river for mud for item value. Oh, okay. Oh, so totally Stranger Times. Yeah. Drop his link. I'll put it out so people can find it. I'll give him a go. Stranger Times. I like that name a lot too. Makes me think of Stranger Things. Yeah. I don't know why I thought he did paranormal stuff too. But he's also a Brit, I believe, right? And I guess mudlarking's different. They probably have good rivers out there to do some stuff with. Really interesting rivers because they're ocean locked. So there's got to be anything that can get in there, you know, and that's interesting. But Donnie Drunkard, I'm gonna have to look at him too. That thing makes you look like a Star Trek alien. Okay, someone cast me. Y'all heard it straight from the live interwebs. Paramount casting people. I will actually watch all of Star Trek if I got cast. You know, that might be like the one thing to actually get me to do it. That almost went right back up in my face. It kind of did go right back up in my face. I'm just glad I didn't get any hair. Same guy. Stranger Times and Malarking with Steve. Oh, okay. So he did. Okay. So I wasn't going crazy. I was like, I knew there was something. Check it out, y'all. Check it out. And then also check out this guy. I think that's two different people, right? For a perfect spooky weekend, go see some spooky horror movies or horror comedy movies, and then, you know, come back and continue it. Oh, look, I got a little ash on my nose from that. Felt like Oppenheimer went off in my face, like the big old bomb, you know? Not the Oppenheimer bomb. You know what I mean, though. Steve is the guy Jamie stole me from. Yes. And have we got you any closer to loving sci-fi yet? Inch by inch, we're getting there. Sidetrack, but also we share the love everywhere. You know, there's time for everyone in all these channels, which is my favorite part about YouTube. I use YouTube. YouTube has completely replaced like cable TV for me, and I like it because it's not so much like, oh, what's on, you know. Sure, you got your algorithm on all the recommended stuff and things like that, but you're still actively choosing like what to watch, and it's like, okay, you're looking at the time for it and things like that. So it feels like it's more focused, like you're actively making a decision, you know, rather than on cable. It's just kind of like it's not a passive decision. You are actively choosing something over the other. and you're looking for if it's like the beginning or the end of the movie or middle of the movie or whatever. But most of the time, it's just like what's on compared to YouTube, where you got to be a little more focal with it, you know? The benzite species. I don't know what the benzite are. I'm going to have to look up benzite species. Benzite Star Trek. All right. Shall we share the screen? How's that look? Look right? Oh, wow. That's not what I meant to do, but I like that I can do that. Oh, well, I mean, it is just a picture. Oh, they have this big old thing on them? Turn me into one. I'll take it. That actually looks kind of fun. I've never seen these guys before. That's funny. A Keldor inside Star Trek. It looks very Star Trek, honestly. I love good space species and stuff like that. No paid sci-fi. We'll get you one day. I'll direct a good sci-fi movie one day, and you'll love it. You'll love it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. That's gonna be my goal. My goal is gonna be I'll have two goals: not to like get too bashed on by the pitch meeting person, hopefully, and then make Shelly happy. What, Donnie Drunkard when I was at his house? If you want to see me, yeah, okay. I think you put that on Facebook, right? I think I saw that. I don't know. Oh look, now that I'm looking at the light. Ash on the nose. I really want to see Evil Dead Rising. I'm mad at myself that I didn't go see it in theaters. Oh, that's out. All right, no more Alien. Taking the Alien out of here. But you know, after that, you just pop that thing out of here, ash it into a bigger ashtray, and life's good. Yeah, okay. I did see it then. I haven't seen it yet. I really do want to see it though. I love Evil Dead stuff. Sam Raimi is great. He didn't direct it. It wasn't Fede Alvarez again, was it? But it looked really good. It looked really good. I like the actress that they got, and yeah, that is when it's streaming. I need to watch it. I don't know if it's streaming. I don't think it is. I think it's still too fresh. Not positive. Not positive. The current definition includes supernatural and paranormal as sci-fi. Oh, hey, okay, so, well, that we're talking movies. Do you like paranormal movies, Shelly? Because then it's technically sci-fi. Yeah, I mean, it would be sci-fi no matter what, right? Because if they're real, it's science of some sort. And if it's just the fictionalized version of something like that, then it's sci-fi, you know? Right? Right? I think so. I never thought of it like that. I like it, though. I like it. Well, I might start skedaddling out of here, y'all. I think I need to eat some lunch, go to the gym real quick, and do a couple things before we get to the Haunted Mansion. I almost completely forgot the name of that for a second. I do, but only the true story ones. I can't get into the far-fetched fake stuff. Okay, so like Conjuring and things along like that line. I was gonna say Insidious, but then that probably gets into like the more fake stuff, right? Maybe not the first one or two, but later on for sure. I had an argument about it a couple months ago because I had my own definition of what sci-fi should be. What was that definition? Yeah? Was it something cool? What? Gotta pay for Evil Dead Rising on Sky if you want it. Yes, reality. Oh, okay. Insidious. Conjuring. I like it. Those I like Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell a lot. Yeah, Sam Raimi did that, right? I'm pretty sure. Did he? Now I'm second guessing myself. I like films in that vein, but I like heady horror. I like all of it, honestly. My favorite movie of this year, spooky wise, is Sam Raimi. Good. Uh, Infinity Pool from like February, and it was just it was trippy in its own way, yes, but it was like, and it was a heady horror film that is very grotesque and violent and many things, but it doesn't necessarily like it glamorizes it and not glamorizes it at the same time, if that makes sense. It's interesting. I need to watch more horrors and thrillers. I gotcha. Surely everyone loves the original Poltergeist. I love the original Poltergeist. Poltergeist is great. It's great. I remember when my parents showed it to my sister and I. I think my sister was like 7 or 8, and I was, either 10 or 11. So it was great. We were freaked out. It was perfect. I loved it. Did they made a remake, right? And it wasn't very good. Don't go towards the light. To me, paranormal is not sci-fi. It means science fiction, and fiction is not real. My world of paranormal is real. But what doesn't that make it science fiction though? Because if paranormal is real, there's like a science to it, right? There's a science to communicating with them. There's a science to contacting them. There's probably even a science to like what they're made out of. We just might not be able to like comprehend what that is, whether it's ectoplasm or what, So then fictionalized versions of that would be sci-fi, right? Yeah, no, that's what I would. Yeah, I would think the same, but then you put the real aspect to it, which adds a science, right? It makes science, but not the fiction. Yeah. But like when it comes to like movies or something like that, and they're not well, yeah, maybe if it's not like, well, I guess like The Conjuring, even though it's based off of like real people's experiences and things like that, it's not real because it's still like scripted and people like it's not entirely what happened, I guess, but that would technically, right, that fits it by technicality. Now I want to kind of know what ghosts are made out of too. Is whatever we figure out just going to be called ectoplasm? Because ectoplasm is not really a real thing at the moment. Can we start a ghost science thing? How do we do ghost science? But you don't want to hurt the ghost, because then the ghost would be bad afterwards, and then you don't want negative spirits, right? It's the difference between science fiction and speculative fiction. Going straight back to Google. Speculative fiction. Just often called a supergenre, speculative fiction can encompass any narrative from sci-fi and fantasy to superhero stories and fairy tales that diverges from mimetic fiction or true-to-life storytelling set in our world that doesn't bend reality or break the laws of physics. Okay. That makes sense. I'll stick to watching the reality of Sidetrack and MCubed. That works. That makes more sense. Yeah, nah, I've just never thought of if it's technically sci-fi and all that. I like that. That's a good question to ask. Ooh, that could be a good live. Should we do that on a live on a Sunday or something? I'll pitch it to Jamie. We'll figure it out. But we're decent. We're a decent reality show. We keep giving good information and stuff. We're not really reality, but I guess we cover things that are happening as they happen in a way, you know. So it's there. It's there. Uh, but no, speculative fiction and science fiction. I now know there's a difference, I guess. I've heard of speculative fiction, I guess. I just never put the definition to it. It encompasses pretty much most things. Not many things. Well, yeah, I mean, like maybe like I so would horror movies and thrillers like that be considered speculative fiction because they're real and maybe technically within the laws of physics that we know? All right, am I live streaming tomorrow? Yeah. I think probably 10:40, 10:30, 10:45, somewhere in that range. Tomorrow morning around that time. Film News Friday, of course, and I'll give you some details about how these movies went. Not any spoiler ones, of course, but you know, if they were good or not. I'd love a debate about the differences. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. That'd be okay. Okay, so we have two good streams planned. We have. I should write these down. I don't have any paper next to me. I will remember this after I leave, and I will write them down. A debate about the differences. Yes. So okay, we have two good streams. We have that for a good Sidetrack Sunday. How should horror movies be classified as sci-fi? Yeah, that'd be good. And then the other one would be Shelly versus Jamie with me asking questions and mediating and doing a debate on if the paranormal is real or not. It'll be interesting. I won't be watching Sunday. I'll be in the tattoo chair during that live. Ooh, what you getting? What you getting? Also, I originally thought speculative fiction covered dystopian. I guess it could, right? But it technically doesn't until it becomes less dystopian, because usually dystopias don't stay dystopias in stories, you know. Sometimes I do though. I don't know. But yeah. What you getting? I've got a couple things planned. I was talking to some people last weekend about that, and then I've got a couple things I want to do that I just don't know where to put them, because I got a solid 2 at the moment. To remember, just check back on this stream. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think I'll shoot for 10:45. 10:30 hopefully, but 10:45. I'll try to get the thumbnail up. We just didn't have a thumbnail ready until 10-15 minutes before the stream. Actually, I should probably check real fast if I got an updated version. Nope. I've got a ticket or skipped it for Barbie, but I tried to upload it and part of it was copyright, so we had to re-edit a little bit, and just waiting on that re-edit, and then we're getting to get that right out to you. Yeah, so be prepared, because I think that one will do pretty well. Pentagram with the halo of thorns wrapped around it. Sorry, not an orifice. Yet. The stargates inside of the pentagram. That'll be that'd be like some creepy ori something. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be fun. I don't know. The orifice. It needs some spooky. Yeah, that'd be fun. If they do some scary episodes or something, would you watch? maybe, possiblemente. Because technically everything they're doing is within the laws of physics. Maybe not so much like the laser phaser beams, but it might be. We don't know, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I think I got ash all up in my nose. When I blew the end of the, or not, when I relit it, that's what happened. When I relit it, it just burned everywhere. Specifically, the cause of the dystopian, cause alien, cause sci-fi, or other causes speculative. Okay, that makes sense. It could be any of the three. Some might overlap, and then some others might be strictly like one or the other. Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense. Interesting. All right, but I'm gonna get on out of here, y'all. I think it has been a little bit longer of a stream than I expected it to be. Thank y'all for hanging out. We had some fun conversations, you know. But I appreciate y'all being here as always. I hope to see y'all tomorrow morning again, a little earlier this time, of course, 10:30, 10:45-ish, and we'll probably go till noon 30-ish, maybe 1. We tend to go a little long sometimes. But we got film news, whatever it'll be, and I don't know. I'll see if I can get somebody else to hop on so we can have an even longer and more fun discussion. But yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you posted. Check out the community tab. Go vote over there, actually, while you're here. Please go vote and let me know if you like MCubed to stay MCubed Movies Money Mary Jane. If you like it to be MCubed with the M, with the 3 and the cube, you know, with like MCubed in parentheses, MCubed Plus, MCubed Movies and More. And then there's one other one, and it's similar to Movies and More, but it's something. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But I have those in a little poll, and let me know what you think over there. Hey, thank you. See you, Shelly. Hope come say hi tomorrow if you can. But Sunday, what? Yeah, Sunday. Let us know how that. Well, okay, no. After Monday, you know what I mean. The days are confusing. I'm baked. Let us know how the tattoo went. You know, because tattoos are fun. They're always fun. But I hope you all had a good stream. A good old spiel that I always forget to do till way later. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You know, there's a Patreon and a Woodrow affiliate link in the description. We're about to get to that 500 subscriber mark ish. We're on the way. We're sprinting that direction. So subscribe, please. Share it to your friends. All that good stuff. Rolling this outro, and then we out of here.